If you're a parent of an autistic child and you have tried everything, every therapy, every system, every specialist, and you still feel like something is not working, I've got something for you. Not because I have a magic fix, but because I want to offer you something far more powerful than that, a different way of seeing. My name is Akanksha Chitnis Gupte. I am a neurodivergent parenting coach, and I have spent the last 12 years as a pediatric speech language pathologist working with children and their families up very close. I have celebrated wins with these families. I have sat with them in their darkest moments. I've helped them navigate a system that was supposed to support their children, but often left them more exhausted than when they actually started this whole journey. And over those 12 years, I started noticing something that troubled me deeply. I saw that children were making progress at the clinic, but it wasn't getting carried over at home. And then slowly the parents would start to lose hope. They would try somewhere else, a new therapist, a new method, and the whole cycle would begin all over again. And I literally saw this happening with every other parent. And in that whole loop, the child was losing something precious: time, energy, and trust in the people around them. So I started questioning myself: what is actually going wrong here? And what I found was both simple and profound. We are all doing so much to change the child, trying to fit them into a version of normal that was never built for them in the first place. But the child is not the problem. And that is how Vision Beyond Autism was born. Because over time, we are trained to look at our children through a lens of limitations: what they cannot do, what are they missing, what needs to be fixed. But what if we just stopped asking all of that? Now, I know what happens when you visit another course or program in this space. You're shown promises like your child will become more independent, your child's speech will improve, your child will meet these milestones. And those things matter, they do. I am not dismissing them. But here is what nobody is actually telling you: those outcomes live downstream of something else entirely. They live downstream of the relationship your child is held inside, of whether your child feels genuinely seen, genuinely safe, genuinely accepted as they are right now, today. And that is what determines whether any strategy, any therapy, any intervention actually lands. So the question I work on is not how do we fix this child? The question is, how do we shift the world around the child, starting with you? The work I do with parents moves through 4 stages. The first is finding the ground, becoming still enough to notice the story the system handed you about your child and being willing enough to question it. The second is the unlearning process, moving from certainty about what is wrong with your child to genuine curiosity about who they actually are. The third is the seeing, learning to regulate yourself, read your child's behavior as communication, and understand that your own presence is the most powerful intervention available. And the fourth is the practice: not theory, not philosophy, but actual daily application. A home environment, a rhythm, a way of showing up, that you do it with real confidence because you understand the very why behind every piece of it. And by the time the parent reaches the end of the journey, something specific has shifted. They no longer walk into their child's room carrying the weight of what needs to be fixed. They walk in genuinely curious about who is in front of them. The behavior that used to produce panic now produces a question. The child who was described as disconnected is now clearly reaching out, and they finally can see it. The person who changes the most through this work is not the child, it is you. And that, I have watched this happen across families, is exactly what the child needed all along. If this resonated with you, go ahead and subscribe to this channel and follow me on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, and X. Every week, I will be here with perspectives, with stories, and the truths that I believe every parent of a neurodivergent child deserves to hear. And when you're ready to go deeper, the unlearning journey is now open. for parents who are willing to unlearn what isn't working and rebuild connection in a way that truly supports their child. You don't have to figure all of this alone. I am Akanksha, and this is Vision Beyond Autism.